Welcome everyone to another episode of the Transatlantic Takedown live. And I'm Derek here in Ireland. And as always, I'm joined by Megan in New York City. How are you doing, Megan?
I'm doing good. A little, just a little bit. Eh, it's spring-ish,
Yeah,
so the weather is still a little wonky. It's a little funky,
sure, it's
but
a little bit better than what we have here.
yeah, yeah. But I'm doing good. I'm doing good,
Good, good.
and we had a lot to get into today.
There's a lot. There's a lot. Of course, we're now only 3 weeks away from the showcase of the Immortals in Vegas, WrestleMania 41. Business has been picking up a little bit, still maybe not to the extent as we, saw in the build up last year, but we live in hope. Um, but first, before we get into it fully, if you're joining us and you're watching this, please subscribe
Yeah,
and comment and share and do all that good stuff. As yeah, we appreciate the support anyway, and we'd certainly like to grow a bit more. But yeah, so let's begin with the events of last weekend's SmackDown, Megan, and what went on there. So that was live from Bologna in Italy.
yes. Hold on, let me take these off real quick.
Yeah, another
Okay.
lively crowd though, another lively European crowd.
Yes, yes. I can't help but to just talk about Miss Jade Cargill
Mm-hmm.
and her apparently losing her streak
Her
this
streak.
past SmackDown when
Yeah,
she lost to one half of the women's tag team champions, Liv Morgan, with the help of her former friend, one third of the big three,
yeah.
Naomi.
Naomi's
And
looking fantastic, isn't she?
Naomi looked so good on
Yeah.
SmackDown with the whole cautions everywhere. She looked good. And honestly, I'm looking forward to that match at WrestleMania. I
I,
am. I know it's going to be so good.
I think anyone that doubted how decent a heel Naomi could make is kind of backstepping a little bit now because she looked good. Like just the transformation in her, the brutality in how she attacked Jade, um, everything just looks on point.
Hmm. Yeah, and I'm I'm more than certain that Jade is going to be looking for some type of revenge tomorrow on
Hmm.
SmackDown. I'm sure of it. Um, but it looks like Trinity is ready. So just let's just announce this match already. Let's just make that announcement.
Yeah, they need to make it official. Like they've done with a few of the other matches, but the show kicked off with Randy Orton coming out, and the crowd were singing along to his theme as always, and he was followed closely by Kevin Owens wearing
Yeah,
an RKO shirt.
yeah.
Yeah,
He was trying to get on his good side and it didn't work. So good
yeah,
for Randy. Good for Randy for seeing through the BS.
doing a
You
bit of
know,
groveling.
he
Um,
tried. He knows
yeah,
how dangerous Randy can be. He knows.
wanted him to team up with him for going for the tag belts at WrestleMania. Um, but yeah, he was quickly told to shove that up his ass anyway.
Yeah, and rightfully so. So, you know, um, yeah,
Didn't
Kevin
get
got to
physical.
face the music.
Yeah,
He,
didn't get physical. They're kind of holding off on that one.
yeah, not like Randy didn't want to, but they played it nice. And Kevin just got to face the music. You just got to face the music. You acted out of pure emotions, and now that is what Randy is doing. He is an emotional guy as well. So, you know,
Well, I'm quite the Kevin Owens fan. I've been
I know.
pushing for him for quite some time now. But like I'm a Randy Orton fan also, but um, I just like to see Kevin Owens doing well, but I don't think it's going to end well for him at WrestleMania
It's not.
somehow. And we had Drew McIntyre and Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Jimmy Uso and Damian Priest. What is with Jimmy being referred to as Big Jim all of a sudden?
Um, it's just their way of building him up as a singles wrestler. We have main event Jay Uso, Big Jim. Is pretty much his own stepping up ceremony.
Mhm.
Definitely saw something on Raw when it concerns him. We'll get to that in a minute, but I do like the slow build up that they have for Jimmy. I just hate that he's
You
like
think
on
he's
this
kind of
losing
been left
streak
in the
right now.
shade because of Jay, because of how they've elevated Jay in recent times?
Well, I mean, Jay was elevated years ago when Jimmy had suffered that injury, and he had to be the right hand man to
Yeah.
Roman. So it kind of started from there. Um, but in all due time, Solo had his upcline, and as you can see, he's kind of taking the yes, he's kind of taking the back seat to Jacob, you
Yeah.
know. So
Yeah, but look, Damian Priest and Big Jim won this one, but Priest was then attacked viciously by Drew McIntyre afterwards. Um,
mhm.
yeah, look, as always, like you'll never please all wrestling fans, and you see the bits online about this. Drew McIntyre fighting Damian Priest. They feel it's kind of beneath him. That Damian Priest has been um, stagnating for a while. After kind of doing really well last year, but and of course because Drew McIntyre and his feud with CM Punk last year was one of the feuds of the year as well. But um, I still think this could be a really decent match.
uh, I know that Drew keeps hinting at this partnership or potential partnership that he has or is going to have with The Rock. So, if this feud is just to bridge us over to that, then I would be interested in seeing it. But,
Yeah,
it's just, yeah,
yeah.
I don't know.
Um, Charlotte Flair and Tiffany had a promo, and Tiffany was decimated by Charlotte. That's being kind. I think it, she looked like she was a bit exposed, unfortunately. Unless it was geared that way to look that way. Um, but it didn't look to do her any favors.
Yeah. Um, One of my favorite promos from Charlotte. I think Charlotte she hit every nail on the wall.
Mm,
She did a home run on Tiffany. And yeah, did it make Tiffany look bad or weak? Yeah. It did. But um, you know, there's multiple ways that they can handle this. So if they do decide to um do a redo come tomorrow, people not gonna forget how it went down the first time. So
yeah,
I don't necessarily know how that's going to work. But what WWE has been seemingly doing, which seems to work for them, is that they take what they see the audience and the fans and IWC is saying online, and they somehow merge it into the storyline, which again we'll get into that when it comes down to Raw.
yeah,
But you could see how they are okay. This happened. The fans are talking about it. Let's figure out how to weave this into the storyline. So, you know, right now, Tiffany wasn't looking very strong when it came down to Charlotte anyway. For the last couple of weeks, Charlotte was getting the upper hand. Tiffany was stretched out in the ring.
Yeah.
So, they had a little
Maybe
tussle the
it's
week
designed that way.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they had a little tussle the week before, and it kind of made Tiffany look strong. And then the promo last week, it just didn't make her look great at all. So maybe that is, overall the plan. Maybe that is what they're trying to do. They're just trying to, um, maybe the plan is to make Charlotte look the strongest in this scenario.
So it looks even better when Tiffany beats her at WrestleMania then.
I'm not sure if Tiffany's gonna win.
Um, I I think she is. I think it'll be the ultimate step up for her. It'll really, really push her over. I know she's a phenomenal talent and she's done so well already, but I think just beating Charlotte at WrestleMania will be massive for her. And
I mean, it would be bigger if Charlotte had the belt and she took the belt off of Charlotte. I don't think it would have the same effect of her having the belt and then she's beating Charlotte. Like she's not Roman.
yeah, but
So it won't have that same effect.
yeah, that's you make a point there, but I still think she's just on the up and up, and it would be Charlotte doing her a favor in a way by losing to her at WrestleMania. And I think at this stage of Charlotte's career, I don't think it's going to do her any harm anyway. But look, she might have been poor or looked poor in terms of promo compared to Charlotte, but we know when she gets into the ring, she is pretty good anyway. So remains
Except for when she's doing the moonsault.
You don't like that one?
She got to work on it.
Yeah.
She has to work on it. It's like I
We've
grew up
been,
watching Lita doing it. And
Yeah.
when Lita did it, it just had, I'm not going to say it just hit differently. And when Charlotte does it, it became her thing, It became her thing. So when Tiffany does it, it seems like in mid jump she loses her target. So it kind of looks like she botches it a lot.
Yeah. You might be
But
a little bit
I mean,
harsh.
Charlotte made a point, like having blonde hair and doing the moonsault don't make you me. And it's like,
I'm gonna tell Tiffany what you said about her now when I meet her over there.
listen, I'm still I was rooting for Tiffany when it came down to Nia, even though I wanted Chelsea to win at Money in the Bank. But when she did win, I was happy for Tiffany. I was. But there's a level of loyalty.
Yeah.
For me when it comes down to Charlotte. I have to acknowledge the queen, and Tiffany is just, she's not there yet.
Yeah, she's going to be there though.
She will be. Absolutely. She's still young. She's under 30. She got more than enough time to be exactly where Charlotte is. Unless Charlotte is a prophet and like she said, you'll be lucky to have this job when you reach my age, which I mean, things happen, But I just think Charlotte was just, she was just teasing, I don't think she has any real animosity against Tiffany. I think it's
so.
Yeah, I think character wise, it just feels like she's just trying to toughen her up.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. I feel like she's just trying to toughen her up because this is a tough business.
Oh, without a doubt, it's
Tough
unbelievable.
on their end, tough
Yeah.
on our end, you know.
Yeah,
It's
tough
just
for
hard.
everybody, but we keep trucking along anyway.
Yeah.
Um, and we saw Los Garzas against the Street Profits. There's no surprise there. The Profits came out on top. Also, Zelina Vega versus Piper Niven. And Piper won this one to continue her little push. And the final segment then, of course, was Roman Reigns and Seth and CM Punk slogging it out in the ring. Yeah, this is a really interesting one. Like this is one of the ones I'm most looking forward to, I think, at WrestleMania.
Yes. You know, because right now this match is getting more of a push than the Cody and John Cena.
It is.
I mean, you know, it's like you see Seth, you see Roman, and you see Punk, and they're like so in love with each other. They can't keep their hands off of one another. You know, like
Mhm.
every time you see them, they're scrabbling in the ring. And you know, the build up, the history, you
Yeah.
know, all of them have some sort of history with each other. Maybe not so much Roman and CM Punk, but they do have a
Paul Heyman is the link though between those two.
New York. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, I hear the sirens, but yes, that's the common denominator between Seth and
Yeah.
Roman and CM Punk is Paul Heyman, and not only is Punk consistently reminding not only Roman, but reminding Paul that he still has that favor.
Yeah.
But it seems like he's he's hinting at the fact that he could take Paul away from him. Like
Yeah,
he's
well,
hinting at that.
he thanked Paul Heyman for delivering Reigns to him the other night, and you know, I just think it's like you say, it is overshadowing Cody and Cena a little bit, because there's just so much going on in it, and we still don't know what way this could go, I suppose, and there's even the possibility of Heyman siding with Seth Rollins, maybe, going against the other two guys.
You know, people said that. I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean,
I think it's a
we've seen
possibility.
we've seen wilder things. We've seen wilder things happen at WrestleMania. So
Yeah,
what I'm saying is, oh, it will be a shock to me if that happened.
yeah,
I'm open to something happening during
but
that
it'd be a
match
great shock.
because, yeah, I would definitely be shocked if somehow Seth and Paul Heyman walk out of that arena together.
I've even seen something about the winner of this going on and getting mixed up in the Cody and Cena match, which I think would be a joke, to be honest. I don't think we need to see that happening. But you never know. You never know what could happen.
Yeah, I gotta respond to this comment. Now, I would not say that Cody isn't a needle mover. It's the fact that John is not giving him anything.
Well,
He's
we'll
not
get
giving
to
him
that.
nothing.
We'll actually we'll go ahead and get to that, because it's all SmackDown is from London tomorrow night, and Raw next Monday is from London as well. But this week it was live from Glasgow in Scotland, and of course Cena and Cody Rhodes were in the same building once again. Cena came out, and basically what he said was he was going to take the title and leave with it, take his ball and go home, pretty much, and ruin wrestling.
Yeah.
Said he was made fun of when he had the spinner belt, and all those that. Yeah, he said a lot of things. Those that say what they're only rats, mocked Ric Flair, and when Cody came out, then he backed down. You know, this is what I wanted to say. Like, is Cena holding back a little bit in these promos, or is it like The Rock? Does he just not have it anymore because he's been away? I couldn't see him not having it anymore. You know.
Yeah, I don't think it's that he doesn't have it. I think it's just it's however they're trying to build it, and it's not making much sense to me
But Cena has
because
destroyed people, as we've seen
yeah,
many
so
times
we
before.
know he
Roman
has the
Reigns wasn't.
ability to do it.
Yeah, but he just
Yeah,
seems to back down every time when Cody comes out and starts off. Cena backs away, gets out of the ring, and runs off.
it might not be so much that he is backing down from Cody. It might just be that he just don't see Cody worth the effort. And that's even worse. Like this is the champion. This is whose belt you say you're going to take at WrestleMania. And he is giving the impression that he doesn't see Cody as worth the effort to cut a promo with. It's like, look, I'll see you at WrestleMania. That's it. I have nothing to say to you. So he comes out, he argues with us. Okay, his beef and smoke is with the fans. He tells
Not
us
really
off.
with, not really with Cody at all.
Not really with Cody. He just goes completely off on the fans. Cody comes out. He gives him deadpan. He gives him no emotion. And then Cody just rants. He raves. And then he just say something. And John is just like, no. And then he just leaves, So
I don't
it,
know. I can't help thinking there's going to be some huge twist somewhere here at Mania. Someone said somewhere some time back there's going to be something huge at Mania. I think it came from some report that's going to change things, turn in a huge way. And I just don't know what it could be, or if it involves these two even, but something massive, yeah, is going to happen, I think.
yeah. I mean, look, I'm gonna be honest. And I'm a fan of Eric Bischoff. I like him. Not too many things that he says and do I dislike or disagree with, but he said something. He had a take on this whole situation, and I thought it was trash. I thought it was absolute garbage.
Mm.
And he said for John to take the title off of Cody and then have John drop it to The Rock, and then next WrestleMania have The Rock and Cody go up against each other.
So have The
And
Rock with the belt for a year when he's off making movies? No.
This is what I'm saying, and I just said The Rock doesn't stick around long enough to hold the belt. He does not. I think it would be the absolute worst decision. As much as people was mad about Roman and his 4-year title reign, you are going to take the belt off of Cody, give it to John, who is retiring this year, and then give it to The Rock, who disappear for months at a time.
No, that's not going to happen.
So I honestly, I said, Eric, that's a terrible idea. Absolute terrible idea. But
we know Stone Cold Steve Austin's going to be in Vegas that weekend.
Yes.
What if Stone Cold comes out, but he's not on Cody's side?
But why is everybody turning on Cody? I don't understand. What did this man do? All Cody has done was come to WWE, win the title that his daddy never won, and just wanted to give the Rhodes the opportunity to be world champion. And it just seemed like everybody hates him for it. I don't know why.
Stone Cold is stone old now. Yeah, that's
Stone
true.
Cold is old, but The Rock is just as old. So, just have them tussle in the ring for a little bit.
Yeah, it's look. We'll see what they do this coming weekend and Monday then also. With getting to your point from earlier, we had Jey Uso was up and he had a mystery partner versus A Town Down Under. A lot of people thought it might be Mr. Joe Hendry because of it being in Scotland and everything like that. But it was in
Yes.
fact Big Jim again.
It was Big Jim. It was Big Jim. No, don't get me wrong. Was I disappointed that my Scottish warrior wasn't there? No, no. I was. I was very disappointed. But to see Jimmy and Jay together after not being a tag team um for over a year, it was ignoring him. Um it was nostalgic,
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
great.
I was really happy to see them two together, and I love the segment between um them two and Gunther towards the end of the show. But that brings me back to the
Yes.
original point that I was going to make. I'm getting distracted by this fool in the comments. I'm getting
Cool.
distracted
Cool.
by him, but
All right.
um I like I said, I see how WWE
Where
is,
Jay, yeah, slipped.
and yes, and how they are taking things and adding it to the stories, like with the
Hmm.
slip and him, not necessarily being sure if he could do it, and second guessing himself and doubting himself, and his brother had to come and pretty much,
Pep talk.
have a pep talk. But someone had said something on Twitter, and I thought it was really interesting, and it made a world of sense, and I was kind of jealous I didn't think of it myself. They said during that little segment between Jay and Jimmy, Jimmy mentioned the whole, I need you to be this guy. I need you
Hmm.
to be, you know, the person that you was coming up as the main event. And their point was when Jay was right hand man going up against Roman, and how he pretty much saw Jimmy getting beat up, getting attacked by Roman, and he came to his defense.
Yeah.
So when he told Jay that he got him, and then he went to Gunther and pretty much challenged him in that match happening on Monday, Jimmy know he can't beat Gunther. He know Jimmy is going to beat the brakes off of him in that match. But
Yeah.
what he also knows is that his brother is going to come out to save him.
Yeah.
And it will only be at that point where Jay is going to stay, walk up to the plate, and be the guy that he needs to be to beat Gunther at WrestleMania. And so, you know, Jimmy is gonna sacrifice himself. He gonna sacrifice himself in order to get his brother back on course, get his brother back on track. And
What
that's
about
exactly
the
how it's gonna play out.
what about the slap from Jimmy to Gunther? Slap the taste
That
out of his
that
mouth.
that was to piss Gunther off enough
Yeah.
to be exactly who he needed to be. Now, yes, I do remember when Jimmy stopped Jay from winning the world title. Yes, I do remember that. And, you know, maybe it was the title that Roman was carrying. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I said the same thing when it came down to Cody. What if there's a possibility that the title corrupts whichever wrestlers have that belt? It corrupts them
Yeah.
and it makes them heels. I don't know. Um, but Jimmy had his reasons, and now he's looking at his brother crumbling under the likes of Gunther. So therefore, he just feels like My
Yeah,
brother has
and
an opportunity, and I'm not going to let him miss out on it.
yeah, and as you say, he's been kind of lambasted since he won the Royal Rumble. You know, he's not of that status. He's not good enough to main event WrestleMania. It's kind of dead. And like you say, the powers that be, they're seeing a lot of this storyline going on, or comments and everything online, and they play into that then with the storyline. So it makes it a bit more interesting,
It's the
for sure.
fans, and it shows you how finicky and how phony the fans are, because y'all was yeeting, y'all made yeet a thing. Y'all, he was outselling CM Punk and Cody at one point, and got the little kids getting their hair cut like him, wearing his glasses and stuff, yeeting, and having Travis and Quavo walking him to the ring and stuff. And now that popularity that the fans gave him has
Mhm.
now resulted to a title shot, a main event title shot at WrestleMania. Now, uh, he's not good enough for it, and
But
it's
they
like
build
y'all
you
are
up
so
to tear you
finicky.
down. Isn't that how it's done?
And he,
Um,
I mean, he might not even get the main event match, but for anyone to say that Gunther had a good title reign, it's I can't even say what I want to say, but they are smoking dust,
no, it
because this
hasn't been
title
anything
reign
like his
has been
intercontinental reign.
ass, total
Yeah,
ass.
definitely.
And it's no fault of his. It's no fault of his. It's the way he's been booked.
Yeah, and speaking of titles, Lyra Valkyria was taking on Raquel Rodriguez. Um, Big challenge for Lyra with the power of Raquel, and Liv was there as a cheerleader. She looked amazing, to be honest. And but Lyra got the win anyway. Um, after a tough bout, and
Yes.
Bailey came out then to save her from a savage beating. Um, yeah, I don't know with the intercontinental title reign with Lyra. There just doesn't seem to be much about it. You know, doesn't, it's not made to be exciting. It is here in Ireland for us. It'll always be, but I don't know. It just, they kind of gave her the belt, but there's not a lot going on with it. You know.
Uh, you know, they gave us they gave us a mid card belt because we've been complaining about women not having a mid card belt, and now they don't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
I mean, Chelsea has to be above and beyond, and therefore that's why people care about the United States belt, because of her character and who she
Mm.
is. Um, Lyra is not like that, so therefore, um,
Well, she'll get a WrestleMania 41 match. Um, it could be like I don't know, but it could be
you know,
multiple women involved, but it's
well, I mean, yeah, I guess if they build something between her and Ivy, within the
only got
next,
three
what,
weeks.
3 weeks,
Yeah.
because they've been teasing that anyway. So I don't know, like, you have Ivy just severely attack Lyra, and then maybe the following week have Lyra challenge her at WrestleMania.
Yeah, well, look, Lyra, she's an amazing talent. Seen her long before she was in WWE, but
What
it's
is it
it's,
about the
it's not her. It's just
kneecaps?
down to what their plan is, and I think it just needs to improve, and hopefully it will. Um, and then we had the Bianca Rhea and Io Sky situation. Adam Pearce came out to clear things
Ugh,
up, assured us
yes.
that Rhea is not going to be in the WrestleMania match, but gave her a rematch for the belt next week.
Rhea gets on my nerve because it's like you're so mad with Bianca for you're mad. First of all, you hit Bianca first. That's number one. Okay, let's just get that out there. Number one. Number two, you was upset because she was rooting for Io. Why? Because Bianca has beaten Io before. You the one that never beat Io before. That's what your main focus should have been on. Beating Io. Never did it. So she's been chasing Bianca for the last 2, 3 weeks, mad because she had lost that match when the whole time she had a rematch, and Adam Pearce been trying to nail her down long enough so that
Yeah.
she could have her rematch. I thought that was wild.
Do you not feel though that they undervalue Io? Like, I know she's champion, but it was like one of these token gestures, because she's just as a token, have her as champion for the moment. I know she is very popular and everything, but she's not seen as the big stars that Rhea and Bianca are, and that's the
No,
way
I
this is headed.
I think I think the original plan was for it to be Rhea and Bianca at WrestleMania.
Mm,
Why they took that title off of Rhea, I don't know. But because of the feud between, it wasn't even really a feud, but the fights that Rhea and Io had Saturday night's main event and leading up to that, I guess they felt like Io didn't have a fair shake, when it came down to the title.
mm,
I think she even had a title opportunity against was it Liv? And Rhea kind of cost her the title. So I guess they felt like Io deserved,
yeah,
to carry the title. She lost to Rhea. She had lost to Liv, but that was well, not she didn't lose to Liv. She lost, I think it was a title opportunity. And that's what kind of caused the friction between her and Rhea. But
yeah,
I'm, the way they're playing it out, they're going to make Io a stronger champion. So
I
by
can't see
the
her dropping the
looks,
belt this Monday. Of course, Bianca is special guest referee
yeah,
there for that. Um, they'll have Io go into WrestleMania as the champion. I would
yeah,
suspect.
and
Um,
that's what it was. She was. I think that's that, and that's the reason why they gave Io the title. And it just made it into a big mess because now is a matter of, well, whoever wins between Rhea and Io, Bianca still faced them. And
yeah,
what I think is going to happen is that, okay, you gave Io the title, they might take it back so that they can have that Rhea and Bianca, because honestly, the feud is between them.
yeah.
Io is just the middle person. The real
That's it.
feud is between them.
And then Io kind of struggles on the mic too, but she's amazing in the ring. She's fantastic. So yeah, look, we'll see what happens on Monday. Anyway, but Bianca as the special guest referee is, there's going to be all sorts going on there.
Yeah,
Um,
they're not going to respect her authority.
no, no. Braun Breaker then against Penta. Penta was offered a spot in Judgment Day by Dom backstage. And Dominic came out. Then when Carlito got involved there, getting Penta disqualified. And then Finn Balor uh, took out Breaker with a chair. So I think
Hmm.
I think we know where this is all headed. We're going to have Braun Breaker, Penta, Dominic, Finn Balor. They're all going to be thrown into a match together, I think.
I'm looking forward to it. You know, it looked like they're trying to build a feud between Dominique and Penta. Dominique thought he could convince Penta to join Judgment Day.
Put down whatever I'm eating whenever I see Finn Balor.
What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Um,
He's so
yeah,
good.
so
He has to leave down what he's eating.
is he really that good? I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. Has he lost his smile?
Finn lost his bro. He lost JD, and he's losing control of Judgment
Yeah.
Day. And he can't hold the title to save his life.
And Dominic's just looking to recruit whoever he can get.
And
Penta would be a good one though, but I
I'm
don't think
sure
it's gonna.
Liv plays a role in that too.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure Liv definitely has a role in that.
But look, anyway, for next week we have Rhodes and Cena are going to be in London again for Raw. Jimmy Uso v Gunther, and Rhea and Io Sky with Bianca as guest referees. So that's definitely one to look forward to. We forgot about the masked Americano versus Dragon Lee also. Chad Gable was a little bit under the weather.
Chad Gable, that guy.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I saw people were feeling a way about it. They were feeling a way about the name. They was feeling a way about the whole Gulf of America.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know.
I don't know how to feel about it.
There you go.
All I can say is
We'll wait and see.
I mean, it's not about me. So I can't be offended by it, Like it is what it is. It is what our president decided to rename it. So what can we do? Just accept it for what it is.
Political anyway. But moving on to NXT, then we had NXT Tuesday night, and Stephanie Vacker was defending both titles here on this show. And she took on Jada Parker first for the NXT Women's Championship.
Yes.
She won. And yeah, she went on then later on in the night and beat Fallon Henley then. So I kind of knew that was going to happen, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm just looking more forward to this feud that is seemingly building between her and Jordynne Grace.
Yeah. Jordynne Grace got involved, distracting Jada Parker to allow Stephanie to win. And Fatal Influence then battered her afterwards, but she was able to come out and beat Fallon Henley after that.
Right.
But she is a megastar in the making. I think you'll agree.
Yeah,
there already, but only sooner or later should be moving up to the main roster. We also saw Ethan Page defeating Andre Chase, Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley then defeating the Meta Girls of Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. And the NXT Heritage Cup match then, or Cup match champion Lewis King defeated Javon Evans. And Obafemi got involved there. I don't know. I think NXT is definitely a very entertaining one every week.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they have their slow days.
Would you follow it as closely as you do the likes of Raw and SmackDown? Would you be as excited about it?
Yeah. Especially when they have like this open door policy between them and TNA. So you never really know who from TNA is going to pop up over there.
Well, we'll be getting to that because, TNA Impact, of course, is on tonight. I think there's some NXT stars showing up there. But
Yes.
AEW, we must not forget about AEW. And they had Slam Dunk Saturday and Sunday. I didn't see any of it, to be honest with you. Did you watch it yourself?
No,
you didn't.
I saw this past week's though.
And you're
I
the
saw this
ultimate
past week.
AEW fan.
Yeah. I mean,
You're the fan they have.
it, I'm not the only fan, and some
I
people
know,
feel like
we're
I
just
might
joking.
pick at them a little bit, but actually no, I'm lying. I'm lying. I did see the first show because they did cut it up. Um the spike bump between Edge,
Oh
Cope,
yeah, and Moxley.
and John Moxley. Now that I don't know. I think I blocked it out of my mind. I think that's what happened. But
Yeah.
to see him get speared, first he got hit with it, but when he got speared, not speared, when he got suplexed on top of it, he landed on the spikes. And so when he got up, it was like just
Oh yeah.
sticking out his back. And it, when they did the zoom in on it, it did not look very sharp. You know, it didn't look
Yeah.
sharp. But it was definitely when Willer was trying to remove it from his back, and you could kind of see like
But
it was not coming out.
you feel there's not been much growth in Moxley's character anyway over the past while when he's
Um,
resorting to this type of stuff.
I don't know. You
Maybe he
know, I
needs to
don't
come
know.
back to
I mean, people
WWE.
is into that stuff. You know, people is into that stuff. You have death matches all the time. You
Yeah.
know, like you see it more in the independent scenes than you do on the main promotions. You know,
Really gets
and
tired quickly though, that type of thing.
does it? Because I
Ah,
don't think it would still be around if people got tired of it. It's just the difference between AEW and WWE is that WWE prides themselves for being child friendly.
yeah.
AEW, as much as they hate the comparisons, it definitely has a smidgen of WCW and ECW in its programs. And you know, John, he made a valid point about having stars and stuff. Um,
They had all the syringes, didn't they? And all that kind of shit there in recent times too. So it is going for that shock factor. Um,
um, yeah, yeah, like when during the Hangman and the Swerve match, and Hangman stuck a syringe in uh you know in Swerve's mouth. Yeah, that wasn't
yeah.
great. You know, of course, I covered my son's eyes when that happened, but um, yeah, you know what? I'm glad that you brought that up because WWE used to show titties all the time.
They did.
You know?
They did indeed. And Jerry Lawler would be screaming in delight at it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. If the women wrestlers wasn't doing it, then it was the women in the audience that was doing it,
Oh, I
and it
remember
was the
seeing that.
male wrestlers that was encouraging them to do it.
Well, the current guy that runs the show was encouraging it.
Okay, yeah, we know. Yeah, and
Mm,
you know what? Old habits die hard.
yeah.
So you can see in his bookings, he's tipping the toe line. Like he's seeing how much he could get away with,
Yeah.
because you know that young, luscious hair Triple H is still in him,
Of
even
course.
though you know he might consider the fact that he is a father of three daughters, and you know what they say, you know how you treat women is going to pan out in what you have. And he have not one son, he have three girls, so that
Oh
says a
yeah.
lot.
Triple H is still Triple H. Like I mean, he hasn't gotten a personality transplant or anything like that. Like
And
he's
Shawn Michaels is still the same too.
Shawn Michaels, yeah, but Shawn Michaels, I don't know. Yeah, that's another can of
Well,
worms, I think.
yeah, and but you know they're giving us great TV. They're giving us
Yeah,
great
yeah.
TV.
So,
So
but you could say Vince did. Vince gave us great TV too, but
Yeah,
look at
well,
where he is.
yeah. Listen, Vince may have been a terrible person behind the cameras and even and sometimes a terrible person in front of the cameras. But when it came down to entertainment, yeah, he knew what he was doing. And towards the end, he kind of lost his way.
Yeah. But just in terms of AEW, last night anyway, we had Kenny Omega, bit of a squash match against Blake Christian. Speedball Mike Bailey and Omega are going to face off at Dynasty against Ricochet also, which would be a decent match, I think, given the talent of those guys. And MJF came out I think he was hoping to join the Hurt Syndicate, and he got turned away for that as well by Lashley and those guys. So there's a bit going on there, I suppose. And Tony Storm and Megan Bain, that's going to be coming up. I'll be looking forward to seeing that. I do like that Megan Bain. I think she's, if they do the right thing with her, maybe expose her a bit more in with interviews and promos and things like that. But and don't waste her. And Megan has just left me. Fantastic. Yeah. So AEW are trying, but they're still being overshadowed by WWE, of course, in everything that they do. Would love for them to be at a stage once again, like the Monday Night Wars, getting back to something like that. But I don't think we're close to that in any way. Will we be at some stage in the near future? It's highly unlikely. But given the pricings and everything that WWE, the shambolic pricing that they have, it would be great to have some healthy competition. Yeah, unbelievable, man. Yeah, leaving me here, leaving me hanging. And she's back.
I don't know what happened.
I was just going on a rant. Don't worry.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm sorry. I am here. But yeah, I, honestly, just riding back on what you said, I'm happy that Speedball Mike Bailey is there. He seems to be fitting in. Um, and now he has this really big match when it comes down to um who is it? Kenny Omega and Ricochet.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, I was when you dropped off there, I was just saying that AEW, they're trying, but they're still overshadowed, of course, by WWE. We'd love for them to be in a position again, like the way WCW were for the Monday Night Wars, because healthy competition would be great. We see how WWE are charging, like their prices, and it's disgrace. And it'd be nice to see something like the Monday Night Wars again, or something close to that. But I don't think we're going to be there for some time. And Megan is dropping off again. But anyway, we're going to go to TNA Impact, which is tonight, and there looks to be some good matches lined up there. There's Nick Nemeth versus Leon Slater. There's Masha Slamovich against JC Jane. We have Chavo Guerrero and the Aztec Warriors. They'll be taking on First Class and Frankie Kazarian. Ash and Heather by Elegance versus Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley. That's where we're saying that the NXT stars are kind of getting involved, which is great to see. Eric Young against Ace Austin. And we might find out then what's next for Joe Hendry also. So, yeah, that'll be an interesting one. Not quite sure what time that starts at. Probably any time now, maybe in the next hour or so over in the US. But that'll be an interesting one to keep an eye on. And just kind of going to some of the general news then, it was great to see Chris Bay, who was badly injured, of course, in a match with the Hardys earlier this year. And he walked to the ring over the weekend. Fantastic to see, a real feel good story for sure. And luckily enough, we've had Rio wrestling here in Ireland on a number of occasions, and she's had a WWE European tryout recently, which is fantastic. And Golden Boy Santos then is another guy that has that we're quite familiar with here in Ireland, who's wrestled in a lot of our promotions, and we'd be quite familiar with him. But he's also had a tryout for WWE while they've been going around Europe. So yeah, Megan, you're back again. I've just run down through the TNA matches for tonight, and I'm on to some of the general news.
I know. Listen, I don't know why my internet is just acting up, but if I do get dropped again, I know you're going to be able to close out the show without me. So I just want to put that out there in case it acts up again. But
exactly.
Yes. So y'all make sure that y'all tune into TNA tonight. It should be good.
Yeah, some of the NXT stars appearing there as well. But was just saying about Chris Bay. It was great to see him.
Yes.
Back on his feet.
Yes. I mean, he just watching his interview with Chris Van Vliet and just learning that he they really didn't have much hope for him. They really thought that he was going to
be paralyzed from the neck down.
Paralyzed, yeah. And the fact that he came out for his fundraiser and actually walked out on his own, that's nothing short of a miracle.
Oh,
honestly.
100%. Yeah, no, it's fantastic. And also, I was saying there, Rio, who you'd be familiar with, and she's wrestled quite a bit here in Ireland. She had a WWE tryout there recently, while they've been in Europe, and also Golden Boy Santos, another guy we'd be familiar with here from the Irish wrestling scene. So it's looking good for a lot of the talent that's across Europe while the WWE have been touring here.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, outside of that, and I'm looking forward to seeing this JC Jace and Masha Slamovich match.
Yes.
I enjoy watching both of them, so I think that should make a good TV as well.
And maybe seeing what's next for Joe Hendry, what's going to happen there with him.
Yeah, they have to. I'm just still thinking about that lost opportunity on Monday Night Raw.
Well, you might be seeing him there soon. You never know.
Yeah, the way things is working out, I mean, a lot of people are leaving their rightful companies. We saw a former NXT star playing security at AEW last night. Vaughn, who used to be with Mr. Stone on NXT. So maybe we'll see him on AEW soon. Saraya has announced that she is no longer a part of AEW, and she is looking forward to possibly returning to WWE as Paige. I'm looking forward to it. I'm a fan of it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people. It seems like a lot of people in WWE misses her. So
yeah,
I would be interested in seeing
meeting her in 3 weeks now. Also,
okay.
Yeah, she's yeah. Look, I think everyone likes her, and I think she'll be heading back towards WWE. She's mentioned it there in recent days. She has her own podcast on the go now, and of course her book is out this week. Will be well worth a read, I would imagine too. So yeah, exciting times. If they can find a project for her fit her in somewhere, which I'm sure that they'll be able to do. There's talk of Aleister Black appearing after WrestleMania as well, the SmackDown after WrestleMania. He's supposed to be coming back.
Yes. Waiting for his debut, waiting for the debut of Rey Fenix.
Yes.
Who will also possibly debut on SmackDown as well. So
yeah. And
yeah,
a former employee at WWE, Miss Samantha Irvin, she got married to Ricochet also. I saw that.
Happy
official.
for the couple.
Yeah.
It was good news.
Definitely. And for Irish news, then last Saturday at the Ambassador in Dublin, we had OTT Homecoming. Unfortunately, Elijah was unable to make it due to there was a fire at Heathrow Airport which messed with his plans. So that was a little disappointing, but couldn't be avoided. But Pete Dunne made his return to action at OTT, which was pretty cool. And stars like Man Like the Rice, Myla Grace, and Trent Seven were in action too, as well as the usual talent from OTT. So overall, a good event. And the following day, then on the Sunday, the 23rd, Hard Knocks in Limerick had Infinity Brawl, which was a really good event also, I hear. And they have a lot of stuff coming up over the next few months. And this Saturday, then on the 29th, we've got Rebel County Wrestling in Cork with their Booked by AI event. And that should be, as always, top notch from them. So feast of wrestling across Ireland, really. And I'm sure the same in the US on the indie scene.
Yeah. Well, there is a show that is coming up on May 2nd. Kind of excited about it. Never really watched CMLL before AEW, but they apparently do have a show where it's going to be CMLL versus MLW in the Arena, Mexico. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it seems like a lot of people is kind of taking the opportunity to have these Forbidden Door type
crossover. Yeah.
Yes, and I prayed for it. I begged for it. I didn't get what I was looking for. Huh?
Yeah. And Natalia, she's appearing in a couple of different ones. GCW, I think, in Vegas.
Yes. So that, which is kind of what I wanted to touch base on. I wanted to see more of WWE doing that with the other promotions, and they're doing it because, like you said, you do have Natalia that's appearing in NWA and GCW. You had Pete Dunne that appeared in GCW. Well, at least for the Bloodsport. It's a couple of other people too. I know Karrion Kross was a part of something that was for the Chris Bay fundraiser. Yeah. So I'm glad that there is there's some type of openness to allow the WWE stars to participate in other promotions as well.
Exactly, like they do here on the Irish scene too. You know, they come back and do a bit with OTT, which is fantastic, and it is really appreciated by fans of the local promotions.
Right. I did not know that this was going on. Who is this? Who is this YouTuber? I think that's kind of crazy. Are they trained?
Did you not do some training recently, Megan? You were supposed to go and do some.
Well, I wouldn't. I don't know if I would consider it training, but I definitely went to an open house back in January for House of Glory, and they said that they was going to have another open house during the spring.
Yeah.
So I might go back,
Did
I
you
don't
take a
know.
few bumps or anything?
Um, no, I chickened out.
Yeah.
But, I might take my chances,
Yeah.
next time around. We'll see. I don't know, you know.
Well, that's looking footage
Um,
and
yes. Oh, okay. I've never heard of him. But I did okay, I might have. Um, I just wanted to bring up the fact of AJ Francis. So AJ Francis actually did an interview recently with an associate of mine, responding to whatever Swerve said about him during his DJ Vlad interview. I haven't gotten around to seeing it yet, but apparently, Swerve said some things insinuating that AJ Francis, formerly known as Top Dollar, was
mm,
difficult to work with, or
okay.
caused some frictions when it came down to hit row at WWE. Um, AJ didn't like it, so he is responding to it. So just look for that on YouTube, because Swerve has been doing a lot of talking lately,
Yeah.
and you know he comes off as a showboater. He comes off, he wants to talk about how much money he's getting paid. He wants to um make reference to Cody Rhodes, saying that he should have been number one um when it came down to the PWI 500
Oh,
list
yes.
last
Yeah.
year.
What he
Honestly,
called him and told him he should have been number one and all this kind of thing.
yeah, I'm sure he was just being nice. You say you two are friends. I don't necessarily think that I don't think Cody really meant that, but that's
Mm,
just me. I don't think he really meant that. Um,
yeah.
but yes, Swerve has been doing a lot of talking, and now he done woken up this bear known as AJ Francis. So
Nice.
after this, I'm going to tune in because I want to hear exactly what he has to say.
Brilliant stuff. So that's it for this week. And we don't forget SmackDown in London tomorrow and Raw in London on Monday night, of course, as well. I think we'll, in a couple of weeks, Megan, we'll probably do our prediction show for WrestleMania. We should know what the matches are, I'd say, in 2 weeks' time. Thereabouts, the card should be finalized with it only 3 weeks away, really.
Yes.
So we can go through some of that. Just dedicate the show to that. But everybody that's joined us once again, thank you very much, and make sure that you are subscribing and following us on social media, and because we hopefully have a lot of more exciting things coming down the road.
Yes. 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 And yeah. Um. I think Derek pretty much just said all that needed to be said.
Brilliant. Until next time, take care.